in my mind, I was always afraid. My whole life I was afraid, but I had this fucking voice, this conscience that would always be battling me, saying, hey, you gotta get up and do something. I didn't want to do shit. That voice would force me to get up. It just got worse and worse and worse. And the shit haunted me. And that voice, it kept talking louder and louder and louder, but I was doing nothing about it. And I got in the Air Force and realized there was more things in front of me. I was afraid of water. So the fear overcame me, and all my insecurities from my dad, from this small town, from everything started coming back. I wanted to quit so badly, but I quit everything in my life. I copied through school. I wanted to prove people wrong. And the sergeant said, hey, you gotta start from day one. And I broke. I couldn't imagine going back through that again. I pretty much quit. And I started finding things that was comfortable. And the more things I found comfortable, the more uncomfortable my mind was. Because that voice I was telling you about, it always was there. I was just trying to avoid that conscience. I wanted to be left alone from that conscience, and it wouldn't leave me alone. I was watching these guys going through Hell Week, class 224, and these guys ringing the bell, quitting, dropping their helmet down, rolling out. A lot of guys just leaving. And it made me reflect big time on the piece of shit that I am, and I'm exactly what people said I was gonna be. And I saw real men, what I thought were real men who were staying, who were overcoming adversity, who were overcoming all these different things that I had blamed so many fucking people in my life, my dad, my mom for not being there. But a lot of us have these fears that you just don't want to fucking face. I had a lot of them. When I was 14 years old, my mom was gonna get remarried to this great guy. He got murdered. Everybody was to blame. My learning disability, my skin color, everything. No one's gonna fucking come to help me. No one's gonna fucking come to help me. It's fucking me against me, period. And I said, the first thing I gotta start doing is facing every fucking fear I have. No matter what the fuck it is, man. And these things would keep me up at night. No one, people who are hearing this shit, they will never really understand and grasp when you face these things and so many things, how they keep you up and haunt you at night. I had two options. To either be that 300-pound guy who sprayed for cockroaches and made $1,000 a month, and at 24 years old, knowing when I'm 50 fucking years old, I can reflect on this and think about what guy I never became, or I can totally just sack it up and fail and fail and fail until I succeed. I said, I'm gonna go be a fucking Navy SEAL. To get into the class I had to get into, I had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. So I was like, fuck that, I can't do that. I grabbed my chocolate milkshake and went back to Ecolab. I'm going back to work, man. This is my life. I don't like cockroaches too much. I hit the mother load of cockroaches. This restaurant got full of cockroaches and rodents and everything else. And I sat there and I said, this is my life. I said, this is my life. You are exactly who the fuck, this is it. And I said, this ain't gonna be it for me. In that restaurant, I quit my job, left my canister in that restaurant, my spray canister, got back in my Ecolab truck, and I went home. And I started working out like somebody, I became the most obsessed person on the planet Earth. I had to invent a guy that didn't exist. I had to invent a guy that can take any pain, any suffering, any kind of judgment, be called nigger, be called whatever the fuck in the world, and be able to stand in the fucking room and say, go fuck yourself. I had to build this callous mind, and I built it through suffering. I built it through downright fucking just crushing myself. If it was raining outside at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, if it was snowing, the first instinct is don't go out there and do shit. My instinct was, we gotta fucking go out there. Anything that was fucking horrible in my life that I would normally say no, that was inhumane to most people, I had to go do it. I lost the weight and I went back to recruiter. I got into that class. I went through 3 Navy SEAL Hell Weeks in 1 year. Only guy to ever be in 3 Hell Weeks in 1 year, to my knowledge. The first one I didn't make it through, the next 2 I did. I didn't stop anymore from there. And I started realizing through this process that the fucking mind is what you created. And I started opening different doors that I didn't think were even there, that I didn't think even existed. And the more doors I opened up, the more I started realizing that my potential is damn near endless. And it changed my whole mindset. So I went from David Goggins and I created Goggins. That journey is a priceless journey that is hard for me to even explain to people because it sounds so quick and easy. Like I lost this weight and I went through 3 hell weeks. I went to Ranger School, went to Delta Force Selection, whatever it is. It was brutal. I'm driven. I'm obsessed. And that's what you see. To get through where I'm at now, there's nothing but pride I have for myself that I can't really show people. I used to run before I was fat, and I was like, fuck it, I can do this. I ran a quarter mile and walked home. I walked home and sat on my couch and cried. I went to my mom's house, who was about maybe 20 minutes down the road, and cried again in her couch, saying, man, I can't fucking do this shit. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Just got somebody pregnant. My life was just fucked. I was making $1,000 a month. My rent was $810 a month. And my mind just kept fucking with me. And kept fucking, you're not good enough, man. This isn't for you, man. These guys are the baddest motherfuckers on the planet Earth. You're not that. When I was a kid, I'd come home every day and I watched this fucking show, Rocky. And I would fast forward with the little VHS tapes to round 14. I'm able to visualize and dream like nobody's business. And I know that I can create a vision that many people can't. And I work for it. So the vision I had was when Apollo Creed beat the fucking shit out of Rocky, beat the shit out of him, he kept fighting. He was a dumb fighter, couldn't read, couldn't fuck, that was me. Apollo beat the shit out of him. He was in that corner and everybody was saying, stay the fuck down. Him getting up, Apollo Creed raised his arms up in the fucking air, turned around, thought he won the fight. He turns around and sees this guy getting up, and it was the face of Apollo Creed that changed my life. The face of Apollo Creed. It was like, just by that motherfucker getting up, not winning, just by him getting the fuck up, Apollo Creed was champ, he's the best. Rocky had taken his soul, had literally taken his soul. His head goes down, he looks at him like, what the fuck are you? I wanted to be that, not Rocky. I wanted to be the guy that people looked at, I don't care if you liked me or didn't like, I don't care, but said, this motherfucker is gonna keep coming after whatever the fuck is in front of him. I wanted that. I wanted that. I wanted that worse than anything in the world. I kept picturing me falling down and getting up, and every motherfucker that called me nigger, I was dumb. Even myself, I wanted to feel something besides defeat. I wanted to just go the distance. And that going the distance pushed me to a point of where now I go way past the distance. I started being able to take negative shit and be happy. And this whole, I say what if a lot, it sounds corny and it sounds weak, but it's true. One of the recruiters said there's not many black Navy SEALs. Matter of fact, I was the 36th African-American SEAL in history. What story would it be if my fucking fat, dumb, lying to be friends with people, insecure ass can overcome this shit? And that what if mentality, like that dreamer mentality, just would always fuel me. It would just fuel me, man. What if I can be a SEAL, man? What if I can go from running a quarter of a fucking mile, now I run 205 miles. What if I can go? What if I can go? And what if, how would that feel? I wanted to be a man that detests mediocrity. It got me in a lot of trouble in the SEAL teams and going forward in my life, because I started looking down on people for not going hard as fucking shit. People in my hell weeks, I was in 3 of them, they'd always hear me singing these songs, humming these songs in torturous situations when everybody's quitting this fucking code. I would be somewhere fucking gone, and somewhere fucking dark as shit. I love the fucking guy who just fucking fights. And so I put these things in as reminders that you're gonna have to fucking suffer, man. This fucking 0.25, man, man, you're gonna have to fucking suffer to go from this fat, insecure motherfucker to one of the best guys on the planet Earth. This journey is gonna take something that is gonna be incomprehensible to most people. How I visualize in my self-talk, it became so nasty and dirty that I almost liked the fact that I went 0.25. So it became from being defeated to like, man, all right, motherfucker, maybe tomorrow we can go 0.75. I was so scared of the water that I had to live in the water. I had to become one with the water. So going to the pool used to scare me. So I went to the pool an awful lot. I failed, I go back to scratch. But I started realizing this is part of the process. This is part of the journey versus just saying, like I used to, I'm just not good enough. If I'm not good enough, we always say that shit. I'm just not good enough, and then we try something else. I'm gonna fucking make myself good enough. And that became my mentality. I'm gonna make myself good enough. The days I couldn't run that far, the next week, I would do 2-a-days. If I ran a quarter of a mile, I wait a fucking couple hours, it'd haunt me, bother me. I try to run a half mile the next time, same day. You can do more than this. If I had to walk, I had to walk. It just became just a process of grinding and grinding, and grinding is not even a good word for it. It's not even a good word for it. Just going further and further, and then when I got through running, I go to the bike, I go to the pool. If I got tired somewhere, my legs were tired, I go to the gym, and I developed this crazy workout where I was doing volume, like 200-300 reps of like very lightweight. People always say, how come you don't have any like loose skin? My workout routine in the gym became sick. It became sick. I was just doing 200-300 reps, 400 reps, and I just became obsessed with it. I didn't care. I didn't know any better. I didn't think about it. I didn't know that working out that hard would fuck you up. So I basically cast myself, and for the first 30-45 minutes, the pain was excruciating, but then it would go numb. Whenever I'm stressed, I get after it. I fix whatever's bothering me. So I sat in the bed one day and I realized, man, my life is over. This is it. But it gave me time to reflect on everything I had accomplished, because I'd never taken time to reflect on the kid I was to the man I am now. It was like one after another. Get the fuck after, get after, get after. You ain't good enough, motherfucker. Get after, get after. Even though people don't understand it, I had to do what I had to do. I went way beyond what I thought was capable. I don't ever close my mind to the fact that this can be done. Something clicked that I'll never probably be able to do again, when my mind, body, spirit, soul, everything just connected. And my mind knew I wasn't fucking around anymore. It knew I wasn't gonna quit. It knew that guy was dead and buried and gone. And I was gonna die out here on this fucking well for whatever reason why, I was gonna get through this motherfucker. I didn't give a damn. It made no, there was no fucking crowds. There was no trophy at the end. I wasn't even in a race in my mind. It was nothing. It wasn't about nothing. There was no nothing. It was a bunch of people who didn't know who the fuck I was, and it was me against me. I used all these different dark places to start bringing out light and just fucking going deeper and deeper. I'm not sadistic. I'm not crazy. People may think that. They may want to put a title on me after hearing me because it makes them feel better. Because they think, wow, this guy must be some special or just fucked up crazy dude. No, I'm a guy that came from nothing. Anybody's capable of doing shit like this. Anybody. I never thought it was humanly possible to do what I did. I went 70 miles. And at 70 miles, I was dead. I was at 100%. What I thought was 100%. I went 31 more miles after being in the worst physical shape I've ever been in my life. And all that pain and suffering and thing was going through my fucking body as I sat in that tub and the waters hit me. And it was the most amazing feeling of accomplishment. And I want to be numb. I didn't want people to give me drugs and to numb this fucking pain. I did this. And as crazy as it sounds, it was the most amazing moment of my entire life. To come from this kid who was mentally torturing himself and was tortured, it's all to this guy now, who was able to overcome such amazing odds and obstacles.
So you ran a 3:08.
Right.
For the first marathon you ever did. 2 weeks after you ran 100 miles.
Right.
With no training and nothing in between.
When that gun went off, something went off in my head, and I didn't feel that much pain at all. Afterwards, I did, but something happened where I was like, the gun went off, and that thing came back. Like, all right, man, what if you can qualify for Boston? I spent 101 miles. What the fuck is 26 miles to me now? Became the Black Forrest Gump, man, pretty much. You take that hot, warm shower, first thing that comes to your fucking mind is, why the fuck did I quit? So what keeps me going? I've quit several things. I know what's on the back end of fucking quitting. It's a lifetime of thinking about why the fuck did I do that?
A lot of people hope that you're gonna say some magic thing that's gonna click in their brain. They hope that someone's gonna say something that changes the way their mind works. That you have to do those things. You have to suffer, you have to live in it, you have to be comfortable in it, and then maybe some of that shit will help you a little bit along the way.
Period. When I was a SEAL recruiter, I got invited to MIT. Smart ass motherfuckers there, man. I'm not that. I'm just a good animal. I'm a knuckle dragger. There was this guy there, I forget his name, but he was like all geniused out. And we were on this panel, and they were asking us all these questions about the mind, mental toughness and shit. And he was answering them. I wasn't answering many questions. And I'll never forget, he was just answering them off of theory. He never put his fucking ass in shit. You read a bunch of fucking books, and you think that you know how the fucking mind works and shit. I had gone through hell since a kid, and then all the way up until now. That theory is bullshit. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there you can read from people, but I had lived hell. And when you put yourself in hell, that's the only time you can figure out how the fuck to get through that motherfucker. You can't read somebody else's book about some theory on how to do shit. Some guy who sat up in their nice warm office and wrote some book with a nice cup of coffee in the fucking hand. No, I want to see that guy who immersed himself in fucking hell, and he thought about quitting and leaving and his wife and his kids, and why am I here? Is it worth it? All this crazy shit, and still said and found out a way to get through it. We all want to read about how we can quickly get somewhere. That's why the 6-minute abs and all sort of shit is so powerful. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent. The permanent result comes from you fucking, I say it all the time, you have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your fucking brain, so when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it. You may forget it for a second, but you can go back in the cookie jar, I call it. It's something that we've all endured. I call it the cookie jar, and we often forget how hard we are, but you gotta reflect back. Take a couple seconds to reflect. I've been through this, I've been through that. And then remind yourself, I'm a bad motherfucker. And then you can get through that shit. But if you don't believe it, you haven't endured shit, you're just blowing smoke, man. And you're not gonna get through anything. He said how we can't do something. And I did it. I did what he said we couldn't do. To be somewhere, you had to be born with it. What was the concept? And I know what I was born with. And I know the battle that I had in my mind. So when he said it, I just sat there, looked in my face, and somebody in the crowd asked me a question. And I totally contradicted everything he said. And I was like, nah, man, I mean, I fucking know for a fact that you can be this fucked up dude, like really fucked up dude, and with the right mindset, and it sounds so easy with the right mindset. You can, but you have to go into those dark chambers that we often shut off, and you gotta open them up. You gotta open up and fight that fucking demon, get in there, talk to that motherfucker and say, what's up? And we all like to take this 4-lane highway, the easy highway. It has fucking signs, it has restaurants. We all love that 4-lane highway. We always step over the shovel. And all I did was I picked up that fucking shovel, and that shovel, I made my own path. And you may have big boulders and shit. They may be getting 200 miles up the road faster than you. But going through this path of life, this journey over here that you make yourself, that's incredibly difficult. When it comes out the other end of that motherfucker is some glorious shit that you can't even explain to people. And we're afraid. Bottom line is, most of us, even the people who have all these theories and shit, it's easier to accept the fact that I'm just not good enough. I wasn't made to do that. And yeah, some of us can't be LeBron fucking James. But I'll tell you right now, man, we can do a lot of shit when it comes to this pure arm guts and willpower and getting through shit. We have a lot more than we think we have.
When you look at someone who's super successful, you always assume that it has to be because of some sort of physical gifts, because people look at themselves And I'm sure this doctor, this old dude, probably had like a little gut and probably
That's
had
exactly how he looked.
little tiny arms and
it.
weak shoulders, and probably thought, well, there's certain people that are just mesomorphic, and probably broke it down to all these scientific terms. And,
Right.
you know, they just have a fast twitch muscle fibers, and they'll say all this crazy shit that is true at the very highest levels of the winners.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that you can't become that.
No.
It just means that it's too painful for most people to go through. So very few people ever get there. So if you look at the actual results, he would be correct.
You're right.
But he's not correct because he doesn't take the shovel.
Exactly.
There's not some easy, lit up, street-like
That's right.
path with nice, smooth roads.
That's right. It's a difficult motherfucker where you're going to fail and you're going to be in your head. You're going to be saying, I'm not good enough. And it's how you get through that. It's how you get through that on a daily basis when that thing is saying, man, I'm 43, I've done so much. You start to become civilized. The refrigerator gets full. You start making money and you start, I'm not getting cold anymore. I'm retired. At 40, people shouldn't be playing basketball or football or being in, you start to believe this shit. And it becomes in your fucking mind like, there's people who are retiring, you know, at 40-something years old or 30-something years old. At 43, I'm still putting in 100-mile weeks. Still doing thousands of pull-ups, thousands of push-ups, because I'm not allowing myself to become civilized. The worst thing that can happen to a man is become civilized. You lose that fucking fight. You lose that, why the fuck am I doing this shit? I'm good. You ain't good, man. You ain't never fucking arrived. And that's just my mentality. You may have more, but you never fucking arrived. I want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. I wanted to be the guy, I don't care if you fucking like me, I don't care if you don't understand me, I didn't give a fuck. Once I went through this fucking journey, this path of life, you ain't got, there's a whole bunch of fucking guys that don't fucking like me. I don't give a fuck. I'm a warrior, period. There's a lot of guys that have been in a lot more combat than me. A warrior's not always that. A warrior's a motherfucker who says, hey, I'm here again today. I'm here again tomorrow. I'm gonna be here the next day. I'm 50 years old, I'm still fucking getting after it. It's a person that puts no fucking limit on what's possible. I always wanted to go back into training. No matter where I was at, I wanted to go back to war. And the war was in that training program where you see guys who can quit, guys who are brutal, guys who are suffering. Because I started becoming civilized. I started becoming complacent. I needed to get my fucking ass kicked again. And when you go as a SEAL going down to, you have no rank in Ranger School, you could be a major. You're just fucking Joe Brown. You're nobody. I would climb the ladder and I intentionally fall back down that motherfucker to say, all right, man, getting soft, dude. Getting soft. Kick your fucking ass again. Who am I? I did it alone. There was no fucking trophy on the fucking wall on the mantle. That trophy's in my fucking brain. No one helped me get there. No one paid my fucking bills. No one did shit for me. No one ran those fucking miles, lost that fucking weight. Look, I suffered on my own and developed this man who said, it's who I am. Take it what you want, man. You start putting yourself in situations that suck, you'll find yourself. You'll find it real quick. If you like bench pressing and you bench press all the fucking time, what are you finding out? If you like to swim, that's all you want to do is swim, what are you finding out? People talk about triple down on your fucking strengths. That's the fucking weakest shit in the world. Nah, triple down on your fucking weaknesses. Find out something about yourself. You already know the good shit. You already know the happy shit. That's why on my Facebook page, everybody goes, why don't you talk about good times? You know how to get through that shit, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you how you can help yourself get through the times that suck. Real life. This is real life. 90% of your life will suck. 10% will be fucking happy. You may be a lucky guy and have a lot of fucking money, have a great ass woman, all this shit. Trust me, one-on-one with that fucking guy, he's missing something. His life still sucks because he hasn't faced something that bothered him his whole fucking life. Something is still eating that motherfucker up. Everybody. Eating you the fuck up. But maybe you found a good way, how I did growing up, on how to ignore that voice that's saying, you ain't facing some shit. Period, man. I'm not special. I just stopped listening. I listened to that voice. This is why I talk so fucking aggressive. People say, man, do you believe in God? You cuss so much. When I say fuck, it's letting you know what I'm thinking. If I try to make it all pretty and shit, that's not what my life was. It was a violent struggle daily to get where I'm at today. I'm not gonna water it down. I'm not gonna water it down. Shit wasn't fun. It ain't fun today. But I'm happy. Weak people hear this soft kid. Oh my God, he must be miserable. Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with him? You're not listening to the story, man. Look what I overcame. If that doesn't put some badge of honor tattooed in your fucking brain for the rest of your life, you can die. Am I happy? What the fuck do you think? Don't misunderstand the passion in which I speak for not being intensely happy. Happiest person in the world. But I'm not done. So I'm not gonna speak to you like, oh man, everything is great. No, I have a lot more shit to do. A lot more shit to do. Going into combat, going into war. Out of the 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't even fucking be there. 80 of them are just targets. 9 do most of the fighting. 1 is a warrior. There's so many people who just show up to life that shouldn't even fucking be around. And there's few people who do all the work. I wanted to be part of that 9, and I'm working towards being that 1. Cameras and phones and shit, it takes you away from the most powerful thing in the world, which is your fucking mind. To silence the world out as much as I can, because it's getting busier every day. It's getting faster. And the faster it gets, the more you are missing who the fuck you are. And I believe your spirit lives forever. It has to. It's too fucking powerful. No way in hell that thing just dies when we die. I want to be able to look back on my life when I'm all dead and be so fucking proud of myself forever. This is all temporary shit to me. I want to be forever proud of who I was as a man and change who I used to be. The liar, the insecure guy, the guy who can, whatever. I want to be proud. If I die now, if I die at 80, if I die at 90, 100, I want to look at myself and say, proud of myself. I didn't have a motherfucker come wake me up at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning and say, hey, you got to get your shit in. I had no trainer. I didn't have a nutritionist. It was the self-discipline that I had to survive, to not survive, I was weak, to thrive. No one said, hey man, you're 297 pounds, man. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help, hey man, you're not smart. I'm gonna help you out. I had to work at all this shit. I had to overcome. Self-discipline is everything. And if you don't have it, I don't look at you right, because I know you're capable of more. It's all on you. It's all on you. The self part is what's big. We need someone to hold people accountable. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. We count on people too much to get us through shit. And we look to our right, we look to our left, we're looking for help. And if you can build that self, you can build that total accountability in oneself. And it's not about being selfish. I'm trying to create a better me, so hopefully people who are hearing this are taking it the right way, can say, I can run a mile. It ain't about running 205 fucking miles, doing 4,000, being a city. It ain't about all that shit. Shit doesn't matter. I want you to see how fucking far you can go. And that's all it's about, yourself. Because it ain't about me, and I try to be as real as I can, because we're all fucking suffering in this world, we're all hurting, and I try to take away all titles you want to give me, and let you know that I did not come from that shit. That's why I have to be so authentic and so real about my own insecurities, my own faults, just being a fucked up person. I'm not the best at anything. I'm not gifted. I'm just driven. And they have these great quotes and shit, but are you living that, motherfucker? What you just quoted, and how powerful it may sound, are you getting up every fucking morning? It's not about working out, whatever. Are you really getting the fuck after? Are you just talking to motivate people? Wake up, get after it, live what you're saying, and then it comes, people can see. When I talk, the reason I talk so fucking just passionate, because I'm reliving my fucking life. I'm reliving this morning when I got up. I didn't want to do that shit. I'm reliving everything I did, and I can't speak to you like all calm and shit. Shit sucks. People right now, maybe listen to this shit, they'll be motivated to go run. If it's cold somewhere where they're at, a lot of motherfuckers will shut that door, go back inside. That's motivation. It comes and go as how you feel. If you and your wife are good, if you and your kids are good, if you're good at work, you're motivated. I like a motherfucker whose life is imploded, ain't got shit in life, and says, still gotta fucking get after it today, man. That's what it's about. So that's when you move from motivation to driven to obsessed. And I want people to realize, once you get to this portion over here, the driven, obsessed part, you're unstoppable. I believe in patience. I'm a patient dude. I can watch a piece of grass grow for 20 years. It's just how you get somewhere in life. being able to watch something grow very calmly, patiently. And that's all I'm doing right now. It's not about money. It's not about people knowing me. I don't care if you like me. Whoever wants to hear this is out there. I was a fucking pathetic motherfucker, man. People cannot say that to themselves. We have to choose these great fucking magical words that make people feel good. Tell yourself the truth. If someone calls you fucking fat, they may be bullying you, but you might be fucking fat. Someone calls you dumb, it's mean, but you might be fucking dumb. It's life, man. Take it for what it's worth and change it. It's like a car. You put a governor on a car, and let's say the car can go 130. That governor stops the car at 91. And you're driving thinking, man, I want to fucking floor it, but I can't go any faster. We do that to our brain. We put a governor on our brain. The second we feel pain, discomfort, suffering, all those words that we hate to say because we have this happy, peaceful world we live in now, we stop. We slow down. And if you can get through these different barriers and gain 5%, 2%, 3%, that 40% becomes 60. That 60% becomes 70 and 80 and 90. You know, it just became this different mindset. I turned negatives into positives. So I would take it like, who would even think about doing this? So I would sit on my couch saying, who at 297, who can't fucking swim that great, who's scared of the fucking water, would have the fucking balls? Who have the balls to fucking man up, quit a job, and go and just put everything on himself? So it's how I started talking to myself and putting myself in a whole different category, and that would fuel me the next day, and I just kept using that as fuel. No one would do this shit. No one would do this shit. You're the baddest motherfucker around. You're the baddest motherfucker ever lived. And I just kept fueling me with the right kind of message that I needed to hear that I was never telling myself. And through time, it became reality.
I'm sure clips of this podcast, people are going to play these clips and go for fucking crazy runs afterwards.
Right. Well, I hope so.
Fuck yeah, they're gonna. So. You don't even have to hope. It's going to happen.
That's good.